Do that?
Yeah, let's chuck it in.
We're living in the future. Look, space age. It's not a Tesla, but it'll do. I'll be asleep in the back. You're driving?
Yep. Where are we going?
Sydney.
Canberra.
What?
6 hours and 34 minutes.
What?
Yep.
Sleeping for 6 hours and 34 minutes. It's 5 a.m, Kevin. It's 5 a.m. Road trip.
What are you doing?
Nothing. You said don't video you, so I'm not videoing you. What religion is this? And what God are you praying to?
Stuck in a car for so long! Let's go.
Hurry up!
Churchill House.
Robin Boyd, 1960 something maybe.
That's his last commission before he died.
Yeah, right. Awesome. This is like a masterclass on concrete. Like even the way the steps spill down and then like you get the inverse of them going down into that central courtyard. Central courtyard's being renovated at the moment. We think it might have been a pond originally.
Yeah.
So a really nice concrete building on one side, central courtyard, and then this Mesian steel frame building with a really heavy concrete base on the other side.
Actually, originally there was a glass gallery on top of that concrete podium. It was an exposed art gallery made of glass. It was not suited for its purpose due to sun and heat that was destroying a lot of the artwork inside. Neil Clarahan worked on the original design under Boyd and was involved in completing the building after Robin Boyd's death in 1971. So in 1980, Neil Clarahan and Associates worked on the redesign of that top story.
And lots of different types of concrete. But this was back in the days where in Australia we were masters of concrete. So the concrete that you see here, and is also happening on the sophites and all across the walls, is timber boarded off-form concrete. So what they used to do was get timber boards and they would sandblast it to blow out the summer wood grain, which is much softer. So you get much more exaggerated finish on the concrete.
It's quite beautiful.
Isn't it stunning?
Yeah.
But you have a look and it's also on like the sophites, it's on the underside. So they did it absolutely everywhere.
Oh shit, they did too.
It's basically a handcrafted building.
I love this, the steel frame against the concrete as well.
Yeah, and that descends into the garden rather than, you know, it kind of blurs the boundary between what's garden and what's building. And setting up these really clear datums. So concrete, glass above. So that's north. So
Yep.
you've got the glass pavilion on one side with all of its glazing looking into this garden, but this is getting hit by the sun, which is shifting around that way? No, around that way.
Yeah, west, yeah.
So this is, the concrete's actually protecting those facades and you get really thin slots of glass. Never been inside, it must look amazing as you get these little splashes of light coming in. And then look, heavy concrete and then glass below, steel frame, so it's almost like it's floating. Like all good buildings, it just, the details keep on giving, like even the way that the concrete comes down and then the way that the steelwork bolts into the side of it. So even the way that he's dedicated himself to this banding, so the concrete band, the glass band, the concrete band, the glass band, and then coming down and he's decided that to the ground level, it's going to be lightweight, it's not going to be concrete. So the glazing comes down, and he's actually fabricated a beam with an angled edge on it. So the water, you think about the water runoff, actually runs away from the building and then just bolts it together really simply. And even the bollards and the chains are so well thought about. They're like little missiles just stuck there.
Look at a little garden to the car park.
I know, like this is the back door, and it's actually like my favourite way to enter the building, because you've got this you've got this monumentality, and then you descend down into what kind of feels like it should be utility space, but it actually connects through a lobby that goes back into that central courtyard space. And then this overgrown section takes you through to the car park.
Well, that's a cute little passageway.
Like so many 60s car parks from Grounds, Romberg and Boyd in Melbourne, the car parks are really well thought about. They're not leftover spaces. And so they're building buildings like this, and they're trying to invent an instant city in Canberra. So even things like they cast their own bike parking. So if you look at that, they're cast concrete bike parking. This is in the early 70s. They're predicting a transport future dominated by bikes. That was forward thinking, really.
But look at this, though. The car park on top. It's just the
Yeah,
banding.
so it's a split level car park, but using the same detailing. They haven't done cheaper building back here.
And the express steel.
Yep. So structural logic. It's a layer of concrete on top of a steel frame structure, which is very similar to their glazing. Bands of concrete, steel and glazing.
Well, that's an entry again, so that's why it's highlighted.
Yep. And so from the street, you go down into that courtyard where there's that high-level concrete building and then glazing looking out into the courtyard, and that's the same level as this half-submerged car park. So it's not underground car parking, but you still get 2 levels of car parking.
Look at that beautiful little canopy up there. Those pipes, look at those pipes coming out.
Yeah, actually thinking about the services and then detailing them so that they're on theme. Like that's the black steel that we're seeing everywhere else in the glazing and the structure.
I don't think those have been thought of.
These?
Services. It's original.
That has, though. What, you reckon that's original?
Yeah.
Look at this beautiful old door.
God, look at that
I reckon
door.
it was meant to be in here. But then a couple of decades later, they just bolted on the outside. But that's okay in a way, because that shows a resilient building. As technology changes, you can just unbolt it and take it away. Have we got the Hangry's keb bin? Oh. Somebody's in a grump.
Somebody's really tired.
That'll make you happy. Roy grounds some sandstone. What's up, Rudy?
We're in Canberra. Cheers.
That's a long day.